Failure, a word that sends chills down our spine, a word that often evokes a sense of shame, fear, and regret. But is failure really as bad as we think? Or is it possible that failure is an essential part of our growth? Could failure actually be an opportunity in disguise? How many times have we failed? How many times have we felt like giving up, as if the weight of failure is too much to bear? Many of us have been in situations where we've tried, and we've tried hard, only to end up with nothing. The feelings of frustration, self-doubt, and disappointment can be overwhelming, and yet, somewhere deep down, we know there's a lesson hidden within that failure, a lesson we need to discover. The truth is, failure is not something to be feared. It's not something that defines our worth or our future. Instead, failure is a tool for learning, for growth, for becoming better versions of ourselves. Have we ever stopped to think about why we fail? Is it because we're not good enough? Or is it because we need to learn something new? Perhaps it's the universe's way of telling us to adjust our approach, refine our skills, or simply try again with more wisdom. If we take a closer look at those who have achieved greatness, we see that their success wasn't without its share of failures. In fact, most of them failed more times than they succeeded. Thomas Edison, when trying to invent the light bulb, famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Imagine if he had given up after the first few attempts. The world would have been a very different place. But instead, Edison used every failure as a stepping stone to eventual success. Failure teaches us resilience. Every time we fail and rise again, we become stronger. We learn that failure is not the end, but rather a part of the process. Think about a baby learning to walk. Does it give up after falling down once? No. It gets up, falls again, and keeps trying. Eventually, it learns to walk. If a baby can do it, why can't we? Why do we give up so easily as adults? Why do we let failure convince us that we are not capable? The real failure is not in falling, but in refusing to rise again. But let's face it, failure isn't easy. It's painful. It's demotivating. When we fail, it often feels like we're losing something. Our confidence, our time, our energy. We may even start to doubt our own abilities. And in those moments, we might ask ourselves, am I just not good enough? Is this it for me? These thoughts are natural. They're human. But we need to challenge them. We need to push through the doubts, the fear, the discouragement, and keep moving forward. Because in the end, failure is not something to fear. It is the very thing that helps us grow. So let's reframe how we look at failure. Instead of seeing it as something negative, let's start seeing it as an opportunity to learn. Let's see it as a teacher, guiding us toward a better version of ourselves. Each failure brings with it a lesson that can shape our future, making us more skilled, more knowledgeable, and more resilient. It's not the failure that defines us, it's how we respond to it. In conclusion, let us embrace failure. Let us not run from it or fear it. Let us learn from it, grow from it, and allow it to mold us into stronger, wiser individuals. Because failure is not the end of the road, it's just a detour on the journey to success.